Hey guys, what's up? Sith Council here. I'm George. This
I'm
is
Lucas.
Oh, my bad.
How you guys doing? We just got done watching Rebels, Star Wars Rebels.
Really good episode.
Episode 16, Homecoming. We're like the show. We're gonna talk about what we liked, what we disliked, predictions for next week, about what we're gonna see, what we're gonna experience, and just pretty much everything Rebels. So George, let's start off.
All right. Honestly, I've never really been a fan of Cham Sandula. I think he's kind of a dick. I know he does whatever it takes for his people, and that's very important. Nice shirt, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't noticed, we do have the Battlefront poster, courtesy of Lucas.
Kind of a big deal.
Anyways, I honestly, my personal opinion, family always comes first, and I think he crossed the line when he literally ties up his own daughter. And at first when I'm watching, it's like, I don't know why she hates him so much, but I kind of get it now. So I don't know. What do you think about it?
What I liked about the episode, it kind of, we got to see a lot of. I've read for anybody that's read Lords of the Sith book. If you haven't, check it out. It's really good book, especially on audiobook.
You can listen. Actually, it's free. You can go on YouTube. Just look it up.
Either on YouTube, or if you want to buy it, you can go ahead and buy it on iTunes, Amazon, anything like that. But I've read the book. I've read the entire thing. It gives you a great perspective of what Ryloth, the planet of Ryloth, is going through after the Clone Wars. And you also get a really good in-depth look at Vader, this guy right here, my favorite character. But you really see how Cham Syndulla has changed over this time of, I think it's about 10 years, a little bit under 10 years after the Clone Wars, and how he's fought so hard and trying to get Ryloth free even after the Clone Wars, because in his mind he's been fighting for Ryloth for 15 plus years, trying to get free of. First it was the Separatists, and now it's the people that he fought with protecting Ryloth, trying to take over. So I guess it pushes him so far that he doesn't really.
Not really himself.
He's not, especially after his wife died too. She was killed in a massacre by the stormtroopers.
And then you have the fact that his daughter, leaves him basically.
Yeah, Hera leaves him.
Fights with people that are, as he said in this episode, how do you word it? Outsiders.
Yeah, outsiders. Yeah. Yes.
Big word there.
He didn't understand why Hera would want to go with the rebellion, just because she's not even fighting for the rebellion that he's worked so hard to build up. And it's kind of it's interesting, because as George said, family should be number one, and he basically pushed her aside just because he didn't want to see her die the same way his wife died. So I mean, that was some things that I didn't really like, but I liked the callback to the Clone Wars. The little girl from I want to say it's season 2. Season 2 was the girl that came with them. Him and that other guy.
Yeah, if you guys have never seen Clone Wars, it's on Netflix. It's definitely, or buy it. I mean, but basically they went to Ryloth because the Separatists were occupying Ryloth, and Cham Syndulla, got my words mixed up there. He's starting up this whole rebellion movement that has been going on for 15 years in the future, basically, and this is when he starts it. And he asked Mace Windu is sent to help him out, and these clone troopers get caught up with this girl, and the girl who's the blue color skin color, it's actually she grows up and she ends up fighting with Cham. So it's kind of
ironic.
It's kind of ironic, and it's cool that they've been connecting. Like last week, if you didn't watch our episode from last week, check that out. With the whales, those were actually in Clone Wars as well. So that's 2 weeks in a row
that they've made connections, because Dave Filoni, did do Clone Wars. He was the guy that did the whole Clone Wars with Lucas.
Part of that.
Yeah. Okay. So what else? What else What else? What did you?
I like that Ezra finally showed us something with the Force, because honestly, if you watch any part of this, most of the time, besides the fact that in season 1 he controlled that huge monster with the Force,
and that other smaller one on Low Fall.
Right, yeah, the little cat thing that creeps me out. Yeah, it was kind of cool. He did the mind trick, and they had a little comedy in there. He's like, I really mean. Like that was kind of cool, a little quirky.
Yeah, it just shows you that he is able to use Jedi mind trick.
Right.
It's kind of like going back to what, like in The Force Awakens. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it's February 17th. You probably should have seen it by now. But Rey uses Force the Jedi mind trick, and it's
first time.
And it's just funny. Like this. That just means Ezra is so gifted in the Force, and that he can go out and just do that to anybody, but not as well as Rey did in The Force Awakens.
Right.
Because that was just phenomenal. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's going on there? But I also did like Ezra, and I think it's kind of funny that when they're getting to meet champs and
that was hilarious.
Kanan's like, hey, come on, you gotta look good. You gotta look good.
You're making
me look bad. And like we talked about, basically in New Dawn, a book that I've kind of touched on.
Another book.
They that's when Kanan and Hera meet, and she tells him all about her father and all this stuff, and he's so impressed that this is the first time he's ever meeting him, and it's kind of like overwhelming. He's like so excited. He's like a little schoolgirl, like getting It's really funny.
It's like meeting the dad after you've been dating someone for a long time, pretty much.
Pretty much, Star Wars edition.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then having him talk about all these like major battles and Ryloth, and like having Kanan just awestruck, like, and then Hera's over here just going, really, old man? Really, you're gonna talk about that? Really? That's it. It was funny to me. I thought it was good comedy relief, and like, I know like it's still a kids show though, because you can kind of tell with the comedy of like how they're gonna use Chopper or whatever, and like it's really funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Another thing I enjoyed was actually her Ryloth accent came out when she was fighting with her dad, and when they just were talking to each other about what he did and why she left. That was kind of interesting. I mean, like if you really think about it, I mean, you hear it sometimes, but her voice is very distinct. It's very, I don't want to say man-like, but it's not like your girl voice kind of thing.
It's more stronger. It's stronger because she's a leader. She's a leader, so she has to have that
presence.
Exactly. But I mean, like that also caught me off guard too. I was like, why does she have that always?
That, like,
I want to go back to where go out and find out why she doesn't talk like that all the time. Like, if that's like a Ryloth thing, how did she break it? You know what I mean? Like, it was a little weird for me.
It's kind of like, like British people, they'll develop an American accent. I mean, it's kind of easy. For example, my mother's from Minnesota, and she had a Minnesotan accent, but we live in Nebraska, and she has a normal accent. So, I mean, I think it fades away, and maybe that's what happened, because she hadn't, I believe she said this was the first time she had been out. I mean, that's the first time she's seen her planet in a long time, so she's probably been away for like 10 years or so, I'm assuming, maybe 5.
Yeah, well, New Dawn was 3 or 4 years.
So it's a decent period.
So
of time. Enough where she's distinctly away from her culture.
And again, these episodes have been feeling a lot. We're getting closer and closer to episode 4, where we're ultimately going to end our team's journey, and obviously everybody's going to have to die, because if they don't, then that kind of messes up with canon.
I mean, you have also the fact maybe they messed with the Empire too much, and Leia and her new connections got found some way to have them disappear, which is possible. I mean, Leia is very connected. She's on the Senate, which, in my opinion, I don't know if they're gonna die just because it's a kids show.
Oh, they'll die. They'll have to die.
I don't know yet, but I probably lean. I mean, I've said many times I don't think they're gonna die, but then on the other hand, if you really think about it,
if you think about it, they have to die because
when we get to episode 4, the rebels are a lot smaller. Right now, they're pretty decent sized. You know, they're pretty.
They're small now. They're bigger when episode 4 comes around. They're more organized. All right now, they have different sections. Like each section has an own rebel
leader.
Yeah, and it's like you said, they're more organized in episode 4, and that's what we're leading up to. Right. We're leading up to them actually getting together and deciding, hey, we're gonna actually go out and do this instead of sit back and let the Empire do.
That's when you get to like Rogue One and stuff like that.
Rogue One, yes.
Which is coming out pretty soon, guys. If you honestly, if you haven't seen episode 7 yet, see episode 7, then go to see Rogue One. I've heard Rogue One's gonna be insane. I'm really excited. Hopefully, we get to see Darth Vader.
Darth Vader that you're gonna see in Rogue One is gonna be very much like this Vader that you're seeing in Rebels. Very much so, like
kind of broken
because he doesn't know, he doesn't know Luke's alive. He doesn't know Leia's his daughter. He doesn't know any of this stuff. So his connections are all gone. He doesn't have any connections anymore after Ahsoka.
And he still thinks that and he's still dealing with the heartbreak of killing his wife and he thinks his son or daughter.
Yeah,
which he doesn't know he has too. But.
So yeah, I mean. There's a lot of good stuff coming from Rebels. A lot of interesting stuff that needs to be revealed, especially with that trailer. If you still haven't seen that trailer,
seriously, what are you
doing?
Go see it. If you call yourself a Star Wars,
you need to go see it. You have to. But I think next week we're gonna see. Well, I don't even remember what the name of the next episode is, but I'm thinking we're getting closer and closer to Lothal again. I think we're going to head back to Lothal. We're going to get back to our nitty-gritty. This is where we are. This is what... We're going to have Ahsoka back in the picture. We haven't seen her in like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, but I think Lothal is actually going to be one of the last 2 because they still have to go to Morban, which is the Sith home planet. Remember that?
I think they do. I think they do Lothal before they go to Morban.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's still 6 episodes left.
There's 6 or 7 episodes, and
so you're looking at 22, 23 episodes, and that's counting the Siege of Lothal, which is actually a TV movie.
It's a movie. So yeah. I'm thinking we're getting closer and closer to that, and I'm really excited because, as you know, I'm a Vader fan, and we haven't seen much of Vader since 7 episodes or 8 episodes. Like, he's been out of it. He hasn't been in it. And I'm just dying for some more Vader. I love it. It's going to be awesome.
He's a pretty interesting villain. The fact that he is very evil. I mean, he's killing his own kind, which is Jedi because he's originally a Jedi. But I mean, honestly, he's kind of he's just a broken guy, and it's just kind of like he just vents out his anger. So I don't know. I always found Darth Vader very interesting because he's not purely evil like Sidious is. Sidious is just he was just born evil. There was no other way around it. He was just going to be a Sith. So.
I also can't wait for Old Master to be revealed. Hopefully it's Maul. It probably will be Maul.
I'm assuming Maul. They showed his face.
It's going to be awesome. You guys have to obviously stay with us, subscribe, leave a like, comment. We love to read the comments. So, all your Star Wars news, you can come to us. We also like to put in some pitches to Collider. They have a show. They also have a recap show, and they have Collider Jedi Council, which is
just kind of your general Star Wars stuff, basically. We're gonna get to that. Now, unfortunately, Lucas is in the middle of he's actually trying to be in a.
We're busy. We're busy. We're busy.
Basically, we're pretty busy at this time.
Summertime, Vader's Fist, though.
It'll take off, but right
Vader's
now we want to take off
taking
this show
over.
first.
We'll be taking off here.
I don't know, any other closing comments?
I mean, and also, if you guys like to just hit up some sites, Star Wars News Net, Making Star Wars. Those are some good sites to find your Star Wars movie news, Rebel news, video games, Battlefront. Of course, you got to play Battlefront.
Another good YouTube channel that I used to check out a lot is called Star Wars HQ, and they are really good at it. They have really good effects. They actually what they do is if you leave a comment, they actually might make that their whole based on their whole what that whole show is going to be about. So I checked.
And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying to. We're going to try to do that with Vader's Fist. Vader's Fist is going to be kind of a center. It's going to be a little bit of both of like a Jedi Council type of thing in Star Wars HQ. What they do.
Right. We're not trying to copy off anyone. It's just kind of taking ideas. I mean, everyone kind of takes off ideas off of everybody else. I mean, pretty much. And Collider, you have to remember, Collider is by the way, those guys are very good at what they do, and they're professionals.
So we're kind of just starting off, seeing if this will be it's a hobby. But much. Where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at #tag Poulos.
You can find me at Sith Council Videos, Lord Vader 2123. You can hit us up with any questions you got, like Star Wars, anything else. It's totally cool. We're gonna branch out to other things, hopefully in the next year and a half. But yeah, that's all I got. May the Force be with you.
As always, see you guys.